Test. Hello and welcome to Virtual Cycling SG, and we'll be starting the race in like 14 minutes 20. So, see you there. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another virtual cycling event. My name is Fitra. I'll be your commentator for today. We are 2 minutes 42 seconds from the start. So this race format is quite exciting. It's a strategic competition held on Loop the Loop course, which is 27.3 kilometers long with 186 meters elevation, where riders compete to score points through a series of sprints during the race. Yes, let's take a look at our riders for today. Okay, so our riders will be James Gardino, racing from home by representing Specialized Mavericks alongside James Hansen, also from home. Aaron Yo from Headquarter Cycling Academy from home, and Bala Velai from home. For those racing in the VSG headquarters, we have Philip Armbuster from Specialized Mavericks alongside Alex Crouch and Richard Turner. Representing FNB Racing, we have Samuel Lie and Daryl Lowe. Nick Swallow will be representing Specialized Mavericks also in VSG with our last racer, Jianfeng Lin from FNB Racing. So, how does the point system work? So it works just simply like this. The first position will score 15 points, and the last person will only score 1 point. So it just, yeah, as shown on the screen, that's how it works. So we are 1 minute from the start. Very, very excited to see what is in store. This is the first hybrid event of the year, I believe. This is the Series 5, yes. All right, 5 seconds from the start, and let's get racing. We got Daryl off the break. Oh, Philip Armbuster trying to go for the break here alongside Jim Gardino. It is going to be a very, very, very gradual start as everyone is on a not on an incline but on a track here as we exit the track. Yes, now we have Richard Turner from the UK. Oh, Nick Swallow now is actually leading the race. So it is going to be our fellow riders just going to be swapping positions as we go on the downhill. So going to be a little bit of a speed boost for our riders. But we are going to see who will be trying to go for an early break before we reach the first checkpoint, which is going to be quite far away. And as you can see on the screen, it is not going to be an easy one because we have a very, very steep hill with I think couple steep gradients, as you can see. Just very, very slight though. So we're gonna see how well they will fare in this entire race. So I think now Nick Swallow just hanging on to the lead. Everyone just packing up together, taking it easy as we complete the downhill. And they will be seeing just a bit of declines and inclines, just ever so slightly. So we're gonna see how it turns out for our riders. And I think now we are seeing Bala now leading the pack, still trading places. I think they are as well trading drafts. I think they're looking at Nick Swallow trying to just lead ever so slightly, just leading the pack. Once again, we'd like to thank everyone for turning up to the VSG studio. Big ups to everyone. And yeah, hope everyone is not too groggy from the morning blues, but yes, I think everyone here is doing really, really well in that regard. So we're still not going to be looking at any breaks. Now that I mentioned that, I think we are seeing Bala just slightly inching forward, maybe trying to conserve energy and trying to gauge how much power he might be wanting to get on as soon as everyone reaches the uphill. Well, I think we're looking at Philip Armbuster from the SG Maps now going far ahead. Very, very smart tactical decision to see how far he can be on the front. I believe now he's draft. No one can definitely draft behind him. But it's going to take a lot of effort for Philip Armbuster to get right ahead. And looks like Samuel Lee and the rest of the pack has caught up. Perhaps he's just testing water, Perhaps he's just testing the waters, trying to get everyone up to speed. And now we are seeing Richard Turner leading the pack. Maybe we will see a new breakaway every now and then to see who can keep up and who gets dropped. But I think everyone is still quite in a comfortable spot right now as we approach closer to the 5-kilometer mark. Looks like Jian Feng Lin and Richard Turner will be trading off each other's toes. Richard Turner trying to push Jian Feng Lin as they break away from the pack. Let's see if the rest of the pack can catch up to them before the very daunting incline. Looks like the gap between Richard and Lin, they are maintaining a 6-second gap with the rest of the peloton. With the remaining peloton, with Aaron Yo leading the pack. And yeah, you're gonna see how this plays out, because right now it might be just to see how the leaders and the rest of the pack might split, maintaining a very comfortable 6-second gap here. The rest of the pack might be strategizing on attacking on the incline, but remember that this is only the first checkpoint out of 7. They might not feel the incline from the studio and from home, but they do need to put in the raw power, the watts, to really catch up. And that's the great thing about cycling virtually. It is 100% based on your output, and it's not really up to any external factors like your racing line or perhaps the terrain. It is 100% raw power output, so we might be able to see some of them shine in those areas. All of these riders, of course, are very, very, very experienced riders themselves, with a lot of competitions under their belt. So Really, it's all about keeping their stamina and how consistent their power output might be. Of course, to any average person watching this, they might be thinking, "Oh well, it's just it's just watt bike racing. I can do it." No, 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 no. It is a lot harder than you think it is. It is a very, very mental game, because you are stationary at one spot and you're just putting out so much power. And to some people, their top speed would be their casual pace. And here we go. You go on that steep incline, and the rest of the pack has caught up and going for the attack. And it looks like, yes, the rest of the pack, we see Richard and Lee just get lost in the rest of the pack. Janfen Lin, now who was trading the lead with Richard, is now on the back of the pack with Jim Gardino leading. Oh no, I'm sorry, Samuel Lee leading pack. Very, very powerful. 44 kilometers per hour on the incline as he reaches the peak of the first hill of many. That is, as it is going to be quite a rocky descent into the first checkpoint. So he may as well use as much of the downhill as possible to break away from the rest of the pack. No time for rest as he powers down the downhill at virtually 60 kilometers per hour, which is very, very, very dangerous if if you're not a professional, of course. With Jim Gardino 8 seconds behind with Philip Armbuster, and the rest of the pack even just slightly behind by a second and catching up ever so slightly. Samuel now leading as he's trying to break loose of the rest of the pack. As you can see that right now the descent is by a very, very, very nice looking virtual lake to the left of Samuel. As you can see, I think they might have dropped Jianfeng Lin 18 seconds away from the leader. And it looks like the rest of the pack has caught up with Samuel. And now it's up to Samuel to see whether he can hang on to the leading peloton or the leading group. Richard Turner actually made it to the front of the pack. Now we are seeing Aaron Yeo spearheading the leading group in the blue jersey and blue bike. As they will be making their way around the lake, they will face a very, very gradual incline, virtually of course, into the second checkpoint. Looks like Samuel Lee will take the 15 points from the first checkpoint, but we'll see if he can clutch up some points before the checkpoint number 2. And it looks like we will be seeing Philip Armbuster take the 15 points, sprints his way to the finish, easing it off a little bit as it is just a very gradual incline before we hit a very, very, very steep gradient, as you can see on the map, highlighted in red. Quite a big chunk of it as well. I believe that this gradient will be the steepest and the most consistent in terms of the percentage. So it is really up to Philip and the rest of the riders to see what's the strategy coming into the third checkpoint. How do they clutch up the points by the third checkpoint? Will they go for a sprint to the third checkpoint, or will they try to break away as far as possible and maybe, just maybe, ease it off a little bit for the rest to catch up? Because checkpoint number 4 is going to be the second highest point in this map, basically. And I believe that it is Bala who has reached Bala, Jim, and Aaron, basically the front running pack, reaching the peak of the hill, and then now will be making their way down. Now, this is really a game of strategy. See which ones will we see break away, or maybe they might hang on to the pack and go for like a last second sprint. So we're looking at Samuel, Richard, Jim, Bala, Aaron, and Crouchy, and Philip, all within the same group. So they may want to feed off each other. And here they go, bombing the hill at such speeds. And as they reach, virtual sea level, we'll see them, I guess, going for checkpoint number 3. On group 2, we have James Hansen. Group 3, we have Daryl. And group 4, we have Nick Swallow and Jianfeng Lin still hanging on group 5. On the total points tables, let's take a look. We have Philip Armbuster tied with Samuel for 27 points, followed by Jim Gardino with 26, Aaron Yo with 25, James Hansen 24, Bala Velai 21, Crouch from SG Mavericks 17, Daryl 16, Richard Turner 15, Nick Swallow 12, and Jianfeng Lin with 10. So I think we are approaching checkpoint number 3. The leading group still very much close to each other. Let's see who will make the early move. There's going to be a slight, very, very slight downhill, so let's see if anyone wants to use it to their advantage. But really, it's really just about raw power. And I think everyone is just bunching up with each other, waiting for the first person to go for a sprint. They might want to try, I believe, like around a kilometer or 2, and I think we are seeing a break here. Or maybe it is just... Oh, I think we're seeing a break. It is Samuel going for the break here. I think he may see that, or he is estimating that he might have the stamina to really go for it with Richard Turner right on his tail. Richard Turner tries to go, and there he goes on the last second overtake. And here comes Philip Armbuster. Oh my goodness. I think Philip just clutches up the 15 points from checkpoint number 3. Wow, what an exciting sprint. And this is just the 3rd checkpoint. What a move. What a move. May have been an overestimation on Aaron's part, but still a valiant effort nonetheless. Wow, what a display of stamina and power from our top group. Yeah, that is absolutely unbelievable. Of course, there are still more points up to grabs as we will be approaching what might be the toughest checkpoint to get to, which is checkpoint number 4. We'll be seeing a series of uphills and downhills, followed by a massive uphill on the peak. So it is gonna be a display of really just unbelievable power output. Very excited to see who in this leading group will be capable of this. Hello, hello, everyone. Um, I think we are joined by a special guest today. His name is Ari.
Hey,
Uh,
I'm not a special guest, but I'll be adding some reactions to this intense sprinting stuff.
so we are here back at Loop the Loop, and I think we have Richard Turner leading the race.
Oh yeah, oh my days. Look
Well,
at him,
eight
the
sec,
pink man, pink man cycling fast in front.
8 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. I think he might be trying to go for he's trying for an early breakaway and maybe letting the rest of the pack catch up to him. We don't really know. We will see because
Wait, how is he so far away?
I think he broke away from the pack
What?
very early. He
What
he
strategy is this called?
I think uh I've no idea in terms of like cycling, but uh it might be like some sort of like psychological game to it as well. To see someone break away very far and the possibility of you not seeing the guy again might get to the rest of the pack because he is really putting in like the power right now, and I think he really wants to clinch these 15 points on checkpoint number 4 because he really did show a lot of potential in the early stages of the race that he is capable of these very early breakouts, and it seems like he did, especially on quite flat ground right now because not seeing any sort of um, any really daunting inclines right now. It's just a 1%, now 0% gradient. So he might be at the very front just for a little while until he reaches that first hill um, before checkpoint 4. So we might see the gap between him and the peloton close a little bit, but it's really up to the rest of the peloton to see uh, to kind of like strategize with each other how fast and how soon they want to close up that gap because right now it's really looking like Richard Turner may just clench the 15 points by himself. In the distance, you can see the peloton just catching up ever so slightly, 10 seconds behind. Even though 10 seconds might seem like a very short amount of time in terms of racing, it is a very, very, very long time. Um, in fact, a couple tens, couple hundreds, couple thousands of a second can determine first place and second place, basically. So, yeah, I think we might see uh, um, quite a dominant display of performance from Richard Turner if he keeps this up. Right now, he is 13 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. Let's see whether this changes by the time we reach the first hill before checkpoint 4.
Yeah,
As
we are approaching a hill right now. So let's see if there's gonna be a huge change. Right now, Richard is still in his comfortable pace, and so far it's looking good. I don't know. Do you think he's gonna get like the max 15 points by the look of it?
I think in that respect, yeah, because like he's like 28 points in like the totals, so he really needs like a lot of points to even get close to Philip, who is on the top right now. Uh,
That'll
so
give
it's
him 53 points if he managed to get the first in sprint.
for Richard, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, then that would put him just on top, but I believe that Philip just needs to finish close to Richard or like finish like close to second or third place just to um get that slight points advantage, or just just get the gap, get the points total points gap just ahead of Richard Turner, because right now it's just really looking like he's just going to be on his own for a while. Right, he increased the gap to 16 seconds, which is quite impressive, and um he's gonna be Richard Turner will be going downhill just for a while um before the very, very challenging uphill I'm not seeing a lot of red gradients here, but it is very evenly spread out. So there's like it's quite looking at the gradients here is quite yellow with a bit of red. But it is an uphill nonetheless. So he's gonna I believe Richard's gonna try to get as much gap as possible on the downhill, and then really try to put in some consistent effort on the uphill. Have you cycled uphill before?
What?
Yeah.
Like,
Like in
yeah,
real
I
life?
mean, like, of course, like, I mean, in Singapore, there's like rarely any like hills, but yes, I've went upwards before on a bike, yes, but
Yeah.
probably not to an extreme, like, yeah, it's not an extreme incline, but
Mm.
I go up. Like, I go up before, but we are approaching the hill right now, and let's see if the distance between the the first and second is gonna be a huge difference. But right now we are seeing the distance. They're not a huge change right now. Still the same, surprisingly. I think Richard's gonna take this.
Right.
He's gonna take
And
the
we're
15 points, but Jim's gonna slowly catch up. Let's see if he's able to beat Richard. Oh my god. Oh my god. This might
it,
happen. Jim going through, beating Richard. Is gonna take the 15 points. Richard's gonna take the 14 points.
no, Philip
Oh my god.
Armbruster
Oh
just
no.
overtook. Oh my god.
Oh my, yo. What is happening?
Jim Gardino takes the 15 points, followed by Philip Armbuster, Samuel, then Richard. Wow.
What the heck? He just took 15 points like that.
Yeah, I think that was the strategy is to like really just like chill out before the final push, which is that hill. Really paid off for Jim actually. Just um yeah.
If someone took my 15 points, I'll be mad.
Yeah, we have Jim clenching those 15 points and bringing him closer because Philip Armbuster finished pretty close, he still finishes 1 point ahead in total points, just ahead of Jim Gardino by 1 point, who is ahead of Samuel, the which is by 5 points, followed by Aaron on 45 points and Bala on 43, and then Richard Turner on 40 points. So very good points gain for Richard Turner nonetheless. Actually, the strategy, if he feels like in that regard, did pay off because yes, he really did try to push everyone else. So as we approach number 5 here, Jim Gardino will take the lead alongside Philip Armbuster with 70 points. Yes. So I feel like all of them actually um try to save stamina for checkpoint number 4. So as they go downhill, the uphill for before checkpoint number 5 won't be as daunting, as you can see, because Jim just basically maintained the lead for both 4 and 5. So now it is just going to be a long cycle before the 6, and then followed by a monstrous incline into 7, basically.
Yeah, the
How do you
last sprint is looking really scary, but it's not as steep as the 4 and 5 sprint. But it's gonna be a very strong last push to see who's gonna be the winner with the most accumulated points.
Yes. As it stands right now, we are seeing a tie between Jim and Philip with 70, followed by Samuel Ye with 62, not that far. We have Aaron following behind on 54 points, Richard Turner with 53, tied with Bala Velai, and followed by Crouchy, 48 points, followed by James Hansen on 40, followed by Daryl on 23, Nick Swallow on 18, and Jian Feng Lin on 15. So we have two more sprints remaining. So I would say that maybe among the top 3 to top 5 still have a chance to battle it out before we reach the conclusive sprint on checkpoint 7. But right now it just looks like Jim and Philip are going for it, feeding off each other's toe as we
What?
approach the 20-kilometer mark. So it's like
Uh,
draft.
Oh, I
Yeah,
was like
TOW.
TOW.
Yeah, it's like a slipstream term.
Oh, I was like, yeah, I was like, I heard like feeding their toe. I'm like, I
Right, as we approach some just flat ground basically. We are seeing Philip and Jim settle in with each other. I think carrying out a moderate pace. You can take a look at the actually they have I think it looks like Jim with a heart rate of 156 BPM, which is I would say how what is 156 BPM for our age?
imagine at
Is,
50 BPM for our age.
is that like full effort or is that
No, it's not. No, I think full effort is like for our age. It's like
yeah
180, 190. I think.
right. So I think for them, especially experienced riders, I think this is more or less just regular pace. They're just cycling into the slight uphill before the downhill for checkpoint 6. Let's see whether they are going to maintain this lead to the end, because as we saw with Richard Turner, it might come down to the wire because of how fast the rest of the peloton of Bala Velai with the rest. We're gonna see whether they are able to catch up or not, because this is a relatively easier incline compared to the rest. So in terms of like the watt bikes, they will feel like they're just putting in consistent effort. So it might just be Jim and Philip to the finish on 6, and the rest might just have to play catch up for number 7. That, or maybe that's just me, because the way that they're strategizing, I feel like is very interesting, because they're really relying on their personal ability basically to catch up with the front runners, especially if you're on the back of the pack. It's very interesting, and to have that kind of confidence in yourself, in your athletic ability to even catch up to the leader who's like basically 20 seconds ahead, is very commendable, you know. And this is where experience comes in for our cat A and B riders. Very impressive stuff. So we have, I think right now, Nick Swallow, who is at the very back of the pack, um 20 seconds behind Daryl. I think just trying to maybe catch up to the back of the pack to maybe clutch out a couple more points. Yes, everyone else is quite doing quite well. Yeah, as we approach, I think it looks like Philip and Jim still slugging it out before they reach the top of the hill, and then they will be going ahead to checkpoint number 6. I think it looks like a very comfortable lead as it stands on the map. They're just shy of 2 turns ahead of everyone else. So you cannot really see the back of the pack. So I guess it kind of exuberates a lot more confidence on the front two here. And now leading the second group, we actually have Crouch from SG Mavericks. Really good performance here by overall performance by SG Mavericks. You know, having Philip representing the Mavs on the top of the points totals. And now it seems that um, we will be going for the downhill for Philip and Jim. Now I don't know about you, but I think this might be close because they have been putting in consistent effort throughout. So it might go down to the wire.
Let's see who's gonna secure the 15 points. Is it gonna be Jim or Philip? You can see them already starting the sprint.
Oh, it looks like Philip is going for the break
Philip's
here.
going for the 15. What's Jim gonna do? Is he gonna sprint as well? They're both gonna sprint. What a surprise! But who
And
can
it's
sprint the
gonna,
fastest?
I think it's gonna be Philip.
And Philip takes the 15 points.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Philip is now number 1 in the leaderboard.
Just 1 point ahead of Jim Gardino. This is like basically Hamilton Verstappen F1 2021 season. Trading points. And it might go down to the last checkpoint, and it might just be who will take the win. So as we see, I think as we see the order sort out, we are seeing Samuel Lee right behind Jim with 73, Bala with 66, followed by Richard Turner with 63, Crouch with 60, Aaron Yeo with 54, James Hansen with 48, Daryl with 37, Nick Swallow with 28, and Jiang Fen Lin 27. Still doable for let's say someone of Samuel Lias around that point range. Still possible for them to take the win. It might go down to the wire if Philip and Jim continue to break out of the pack and into the very, very daunting incline to checkpoint number 7, to sprint point number 7. As you can see, Jim actually see the heart rate raised ever so slightly to the 160s now. He knows that this is going to be the end, and it is really now or never. I think for Philip Ambas, that as long as he can keep himself ahead of Jim, he might just clutch up the win. And I think even if Philip finishes behind, I think they will be even on points by the finish, in which I don't know how is that gonna go down, because this is very, very interesting. I think each of them will also clinch. I think if Philip finishes this, he will finish with a very nice, very satisfactory 100 points, which is nothing to scoff at, especially seeing that the rest of the pack is just as experienced as people of Philip's caliber. And to have a lead just like this, I think this is perfect execution of strategy and athleticism that is just on point for today. For them to come in and put in the watts at 9 a.m. in the morning is not easy, really. And here we go. Philip and Jim will be going for the uphill. A consistent green gradient of 3%. But we're going to see who will come out on top. So right now it looks like Jim will have the lead, and it will be traded with Philip. Let's see whether the gap will eventually close down. I don't think it will.
I wonder when are they gonna sprint, because I can see that they're just waiting.
Yeah, it might be, because you also see like by the sprint point number 7, like it kind of like flats out, right? That might be
Yeah.
that might be their cue to sprint. Or maybe one of them, just like wants to sprint on the just before it evens out. But right now there is like no draft. There is and it's just a consistent incline. Is probably just gonna be a race to the finish. I think one of them might try to go
No,
all
they're,
out
they're
right
still
now.
holding it. They're still holding it. It's anytime now. They're gonna send full force.
And I think it's Jim. No, Jim
They're
is
gonna
just
wait for
holding
it.
off. Yep. And I think we just reached it. With 400 meters to go. Let's see who will be trying to make the break.
And there it is. And there it is.
Right. I think if we see their avatars duck down, they might be going for an effort. I don't know. I don't know how the game works, but here we
Yeah, I mean,
go.
yeah, you're right.
There we go. 200 meters to go. It might be Jim. Jim is going at it. He's at 40 kilometers per hour. He just
Let's go,
ahead.
Jim. Let's go, Jim.
I think Jim will go for it with 40 meters, 30 meters, and I think he clinches it.
15 points goes to Jim. They both got 99 points. What?
Both finishing at 99 points. Oh my goodness, how is this gonna go down? Wow, absolutely amazing stuff. I think we have Crouch. We'll finish. I think with Bala just behind him on 2 seconds, but it might.
Come on, Bala, you got this. A good effort by Bala.
And it seems that
Bala getting third in the leaderboard.
Yes, congratulations to Bala, finishing
Congrats.
78 points, followed by Crouch, securing a very solid 73 points performance. Right now we have Samuel. He will finish in a net points position above Crouch, but by how much? Behind him is Richard Turner. Will Richard Turner try to go for it with 80 meters to go? It might be Samuel. Oh, Richard Turner is gaining. He's gaining fast. Oh my goodness! Just behind. Wow, Richard Turner really displaying some levels of intimidation that I have never seen before. Finishing a solid 6 points, sharing 73 points with Crouch. With Aaron Yo finishing a very respectable 7th position on this sprint. Where will he place on the leaderboard? Aaron will finish 7th, and I think it will kind of even itself out for the rest of the pack. With James, Jianfeng, finishing in their respective positions. But since Jianfeng and Jianfeng and Nick Swallow even on points, we might be seeing Jianfeng just finish just slightly ahead. So yes. As we see James Hansen actually still halfway through the hill. 16 seconds ahead of Jianfeng. A very, very comfortable lead on the rest. So it's just consistent effort from now on. Unless Jianfeng really wants to go for a push right now. Him and Daryl within the same group. Will they be trying to work together? I don't know. Right now, I think it seems that it is 4 points up to grabs to the last person on the grid who will be getting 1 point from the sprint checkpoint. The 4 points might go to James Hansen right now as he approaches the sub 700 meter mark. Jianfeng and Daryl still next to each other, still side by side, trying to clinch that 1 point advantage. Amazing display of perseverance from the rest. I think, the fact that everyone finished above well over 20 points on this race is very commendable on itself. That means if that stands, that means that everyone kind of like finished within the top 10. This is from my guesstimation. I think everyone finished within the top 10 and above for all of the sprints, which is quite respectable, to be honest. Especially for checkpoint number 4, that was quite brutal. And as we see James Hansen clinching the 4 points for himself. And right now we are seeing Daryl just breaking away from Jianfeng. It might be to the line. On the game, Jianfeng has the inside, but we don't know how much of an advantage it might be. Daryl might just clinch all of the points to himself. Jianfeng just backing off, getting a respectable 2 points. Solid finish by Jianfeng Lin. And as it stands right now, Nick Swallow just finishing his last stint, his last section of the hill, as he will be approaching some even ground and into the track, as he has 500 meters to go. As it stands right now, Daryl finishes on 51 points with Jianfeng Lin with 39 points, and Nick Swallow will finish with 34 points as he will clinch the last point up for grabs for this wave. We would like to thank everyone for participating in this race. Big ups to the top two of Jim Gardino and Philip Armbuster for going at it neck and neck all the way to the finish with 99 points between the two. Thank you all very much for watching, and we will see you guys on the next wave on 10:30 a.m. See you in a bit.
Bye, bye, bye.